there's three things. There's follow the money. Number two is uncover the dark web and maybe shed light on it. And then number three, band together to have some sort of enforcement policy globally. So my question to you is, Wes, I'm making you the world czar. You are in control of the world and you're in control of all of these countries, right? Forming collaboration. If I gave you that magic wand and said, go fix the problem, how would you do that? What would those steps be? I'm thinking along the lines of like the United Nations or something along those lines, right? Where we could all band together to help stop this.
Well, most countries would be cooperative because they're all victims. Yeah. There may be a couple that are not for various other reasons. I'm sure they would want to stop the problem, but there's other privacy issues that they would want. So I would say that United Nations is probably a good place to start. In of itself, it wouldn't be the only thing that you have to do, but you have to go in and say there is benefit in stopping this. Yeah. And there's trading positions with the nations that gives them an advantage if you cooperate. So there's always a win that you can craft to get somebody to say it's in my best interest if I don't allow this to happen, if I don't harbor the environment. And if you craft it as advantageous enough, they'll give it up.
Yeah.
So excellent. That's the way I do
it. Two more questions. I'm going to pivot just slightly. And so these next two are going to be, number one is going to be what most concerns you about technology, whether it be cyber threats, criminals, things like that. And then on the flip side of that is what most excites you a bit about technology. If you wouldn't mind starting with the first one, what most concerns you about technology and some things that you might see coming down the road over the next 3 to 5 years, for example?
Well, what concerns me is much the same thing as what excites me. I just would stress different aspects of it. So what concerns me? Concerns me about technology is that it's new. We're always learning about it. The reason why it exists is because we had a need. And so I would have that need satisfied, and that's exciting. So we'll get to that in a minute. But the thing is I'm constantly learning about it, learning. And as I learn more, so is somebody else who has a different perspective. Their need wasn't for something that maybe would help humanity. They're looking to exploit it for something else. Their objective. For everything that's good, it can always be used for bad. Yeah. And so what concerns me about the technology is that something that is great, that is phenomenal, that can be used for fantastic good can maybe be erased because somebody found out how to use it for bad quicker than we could get value for good. Yeah. But it was a phenomenal technology, but we just had to say, oh my gosh, we've got to put this on the shelf because they've found out how to do more harm to it with it than good.
Yeah. So on the flip side of that, what most excites you
is that the new innovations are coming out so fast. Every innovation is leading to a new innovation. Just think about the elements of physics. We took elements of how nature reacts and nature works, and we found unbelievable new ways to make our life better. Now we're in another layer of innovation where we're taking basic fundamentals of how we've just discovered how the universe works. I'm thinking of quantum computing, for example. Right. We're taking these new understandings of how elements and molecules and atoms work and exist. And we're finding out ways to make just incomprehensible computational advances and ways to make things unbelievably small so this new intelligence can be put all over our bodies to tell us things that we never knew before, ways to help us, ways to inform our lives, ways to take limited resources and make them stretch so much further, ways to substitute a resource that's almost exhausted. So the wonderful thing is that the future is nearly limitless. Our imagination is the only thing that limits us, the imagination and our cooperation with somebody else. Because if you go back and you see why we have all this explosion of technology, all this explosion of knowledge is because we're able to record what was known before us and then iterate on it. And we're able to involve all of humanity in the collaboration.
Right.
That's why we have what we have.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's exciting to see what those possibilities look like, right? There's certainly an aspect of concern that comes with that. But when you start talking about quantum computing and, ways that we can potentially leverage that,